We are back in Toronto, Ontario, and we're going to be interviewing the owner of this Alpina E34. This is a real deal manual one. I think they only made just over 500. We're going to find out why he bought this car, why he loves it, and what's so special. Also go into the history of Alpina and how they came to exist. Here we have the owner of the E34.
My name is Vasile. People call me Vas for short. But yes, this is my Alpina B10 3.5. Although it has been made to look more like a turbo, it is not a turbo. It's naturally aspirated, 5-speed. And yeah, it's pretty much the best E34 that I could get. And in my mind, that's probably the best E34.
So why did you choose an Alpina E34 as your car?
So I was born in Soviet Union and we had crappy cars. I mean, Ladas and all of that. They were nothing special, right? It's just everyday commuter cars. And when the wall fell, at the time, the German cars were at the top of their game. So they started bringing in German cars and it collectively blew our minds. And I think that's valid for all Eastern European born folks, right? Because we were all used to just crappy cars. And then all of a sudden we have cars with power windows, power mirrors, power seats, sunroof and power sunroof, right? So it was a shock, right? You think of it as if a spaceship were to land here, that was pretty much the same effect, which is why you see so many people from that area in love with this generation of 5 Series, and similarly with E38s, for example. It's because at the time they were at the peak, and to us collectively it just had such an impact. Right?
Yeah, the E34, right? One of the most iconic BMWs of all time. What makes this different from a normal E34?
Oh, many things. So basically it left the line at BMW pretty much as a shell, and then Alpina took over and pretty much did everything on it, which is why it is not a tuner as many people think it is. It's actually, Alpina is actually a manufacturer. Oh, wow. So it has its own TÜV certified VIN number, so it has its own...
Hold on, we'll just cut. All right.
STO.
Anyways,
yes. So Alpina took it over and they redid all the interior, the entire engine. The block is the same, but all the internals are forged, made by Alpina, brought in by them, assembled at Alpina. And that's why these are numbered cars, right? Is when Alpina was releasing them, they were giving them numbers, and the number is tied to the VIN number. So you'll see the original BMW VIN number, which starts with WBA, that is crossed out. And on the tower of any Alpina car, actually, you will see Alpina stamps their own VIN numbers, which is how you know if it's an original Alpina or if it's a tribute, because there are many people that appreciate Alpinas, which is good, but not many of them are actually originals.
Yeah. So, how many of these did they make in the world?
I believe they made 512. From the data that I've seen, majority of them were actually automatics, because at the time Alpina was trying to push or advertise the Switchtronic transmissions. It was one of the first, or the early automatic transmissions, which you could switch gears from the steering wheel. So many people went for it because it was the thing to do at the time, right? So there are less manuals out there, which is why, I also have the 3-pedal license plate, because it is a manual. And, for us, the automatics, as good as they all were with the switch gears, right? You'd rather change your own, row your own, right? Obviously, the most important part is for it to be a manual car. I wanted to feel the drive and enjoy that experience, right?
Mm-hmm. And what is it like owning an Alpina E34? Does it get a lot of attention on the streets?
Oh, all the time, which surprises me because I've had this for almost 5 years now, so I kind of get used to the car. It wears off with time and as you drive it. But every single time I take it for a drive after a long time, and I forget how much people react to it. Every time I take it for a drive, 2-3 people stop either at the light or even on the highway. They wave me down and say, "Oh, nice car," which to me it's always like it's a pleasure, right?
Yeah.
It's pleasant that somebody recognizes it, but at the same time it's also surprising because, you know, to a regular person it might just look like a regular BMW, right? Yeah, it may be old, but it looks like a BMW. So the fact that people know, it's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, what an incredible car you have right here. This is insane. I don't think I've ever seen one of these, a real one, in my life before. So to see this one is just incredible. Can you show me the interior, what that's like on this
Sure,
car?
absolutely. So the interior is actually a Recaro interior that was sent to Alpina factory, and you will see the Alpina fabric inside, right? So Alpina would take them apart and put their own fabric, which is what is this kind of diamond blue and green, as typical of their kind of touch. And yeah, funny enough, the seats were actually originally, they weren't meant for an E34, they were meant for a coupe, which is why they have the ability, you can tilt them forwards, right?
And they have seat controls on them.
Yes, it has seat controls for height adjustment. So if you want to go up and down, that's how you do it. Back and forward, there's a manual lever.
Yeah, and you got the carpets and everything. Wow.
Yes, that's the Alpina floor mats, and it has an Alpina steering wheel, which obviously came from the factory, as well as the shift knob, right? And these veneers, the wooden veneers, they were added by Alpina at the factory. This is prior to the refresh of the E34. And when they refreshed it, they had the facelift. They actually, BMW decided, oh, that's a good idea. Let's put wooden veneers in our cars as well. So,
wow,
another source of inspiration from Alpina.
And there's one more thing I want you to show me.
Sure.
In the back, before we started filming, you had a special thing. Can you show the people what is in the back of this car? Because I didn't even know this about the history of Alpina.
Yes.
Just learned it an hour ago.
Right. So before Alpina started making cars, they were making typewriters and all sorts of calculators and whatnot. So all sorts of machinery, which is how the founder, Burkhard Bovensiepen, started the cars, right? The whole kind of endeavor in the car world, because, well, he had a 2002, right, BMW at the time, or E10, right, chassis, and decided, well, I wanted to make it a little bit faster. And with access to all sorts of machinery in the factory, well, we decided, well, you know what, let's toy around a little bit. So tried and worked in with some Weber carburetors and some additional kind of fun bits and bobs, and he got, I think, quite a significant bump in power, and that's how it all started. He decided, you know what, I think other people would be interested as well, and I think at was it either the Frankfurt Motor Show or one of the shows in Germany, he started advertising it and actually putting like papers on people's windshields that, hey, if you want your car, your BMW, to be a little bit faster, call me and buy a kit.
Wow.
And that's how it all started. But before that, so that started in 67, 68, but before that, Alpina was actually making typewriters, and this is one of them from 61. And yeah, I mean, it's still perfectly functional.
Yeah, you wrote this on it. That's incredible. About your own car on a typewriter built by Alpina before they built this car.
Right.
What a story. I had absolutely no idea that was the history of Alpina. I just didn't know.
Yes.
So I don't think many people do know.
Right. Actually, believe it or not, even some owners didn't know that Alpina made typewriters before. They thought it was just, you know, a car brand.
Yeah.
But yes, that's how it all started. It's all with a passion and love for the automobile, right?
Yeah. Well, speaking of this car, can we go for a drive in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let's go. I would just like to say massive thanks to Arthur for organizing this interview and a few others while in Toronto. We are in the Alpina E34. What a cool car this is inside. I mean, one, it's manual, but two, just look at the interior. It's got the wood all over it, this little BMW logo, the Alpina sort of proof that it's an Alpina right there. Alpina cluster. The interior is so cool in this car. How do you like driving it?
Well, it's reminiscing of the good days when all the cars were analog, right? And yeah, I mean, it's still a manual. It's an old school manual. It talks to you. You can feel the road through the steering wheel as well, right? You feel very connected. The seats also help because, you know, the Recaro always knew how to make a good seat that is communicative. So whenever you're trying to do some spirited driving, it talks to you enough that you're always in control. So yeah, I mean, it's of the era in the 90s. I think this is one of the best kind of BMWs that, you know, was perfected by Alpina, right?
Yeah, it's an incredibly cool car, and I can't believe that there's one just here in Toronto, Ontario.
Yes, considering that Alpina never sold these when new in North America altogether, right? And then here we are, and
You have one.
it's here, yes. Original German car too, so yes.
So what's the story on how you got this car? How did you find it? How did you buy it?
I actually was driving by one day and I saw it in someone's garage here locally, and I could not believe my eyes, because since they never brought them to North America, right? It's not something one would expect. I mean, I knew what it was, but many people don't. To them, it looks like any, you know, old regular BMW, right? But when I saw it, I knew this was something special. It wasn't just any regular BMW. So I stopped, talked to the owner, and the owner is actually a very well-known, the previous owner was a very well-known BMW enthusiast. He even organized a few BMW classic car shows around here. So yeah, I stopped, I talked to him, and he had since moved on to a different car and an older BMW, and so this one was sitting in his garage. I'm like, you know what? I have to have it. To me, in my mind, this is better than an M5 and an E34 M5. You know, in terms of rarity, maybe the wagon would be a better one potentially, but this is more special. It's handmade. There are fewer of them, so I just had to have it. So I told him, you know, whenever you decide to sell it, I want you to call me first. I don't care about how much you want for it. I want the car. And believe it or not, a couple of months later, he did call me and told me, you know, come, if you're serious, come by with the deposit. 20 minutes later, I was at his house.
Wow.
I didn't even ask how much for the car. I went to the bank, took some money out, and went to see him right away. Left him a deposit. And that was probably the most rash, but it was still the best decision. And yeah, I got it. I even remember the day. It was December 2nd, because it was my brother's birthday. You can sense the power like up of 4,000 RPM, right? Like in the low range, it just feels like a regular 5 Series, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
But if you push it up a little bit, it enjoys it, right? And
Yeah.
it goes pretty fast. Like you could see that Alpina was always building cars to be driven on, you know, the Autobahn.
Mm-hmm.
So you will go 200, it'll go 220 kilometers an hour, right? Easily, not a problem. We will keep going. The only downside, in my opinion, is the fact that I don't have cruise control. So if I want to cruise down to the USA for a show or whatever,
Yeah.
I have to keep my foot on the gas. But I mean, first world problems, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing this interview. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
It's been an honor to get to see this car and interview you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and if you're interested, this isn't the only car we're going to interview you about. Right now, we are actually on the way to pick up his other BMW, a V10 manual M6, right? And come back and do another video. So there will be a part 2 coming up sometime soon after this video. I'm not sure exactly when, but yeah, manual V10 M6. We're gonna go film it right now. So thanks for watching. If you want to be interviewed by me at Magna Cars, DM me on Instagram at Magna Cars. And yeah, never ever quit on your dreams. There's always me highs and lows. Just keep on going. And remember, God loves you. See you in the next video.